Welcome to the Love and Marriage Talk. Akusiete saying.
Nyamia dom. I'm doing well.
All right. We are very much excited. And to our audience, Akwaba, welcome to the Love and Marriage Talk. We hope your family is doing well and life is treating you well. And we're so excited tuning in with us today. We have a lovely conversation to share with you. Like always, this conversation we have in mind means so much to us, but I don't want to spill the beans. So stay tuned. All right. Akusi, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. I am ready.
All right. We wanted to chat. Our conversation topic is long distance relationship. Long distance relationship. And some of the challenges, couples face. And when we talk about long distance, we just wanted to make sure we lay the right foundation for what we're about to discuss. We want to share with the serious couples that are out there putting in their commitment. The two C's, commitment and what?
Communication.
Commitment and communication. They are putting that effort to make sure their long distance relationship works. And we're here to share some nuggets with them. And I'm pretty sure they're going through these challenges because we went through our fair share of it. Mm-hmm. And without sharing too much, let's take it away, Esther. So when we talk about long distance relationship, what was the first thing that comes to mind?
I believe you started by stating the two things that comes to mind. Am I ready for the commitment? And are we ready to put in those communication to keep us going? Those are the first two things that comes to mind when it comes to long distance relationship. Being it married or being in a committed relationship.
I couldn't agree with you. You nailed it right on the head. Because for any relationship to thrive, prosper, you gotta put in that effort of commitment. You gotta set your best shoes forward and do whatever it takes with commitment. I am committed to this task, and I am gonna see to it it's successful. So it's very critical. So let's begin with communication, right? Let's begin with communication because I can only imagine the challenges that long distance couples go through.
Yeah, because we went through it.
Yes.
And I don't think anything has changed. Time has passed with our experience, but I can be 100% sure that it is still the same. And for others, it might even be more difficult. And like Nate said, it's just our heart desire that everybody prospers and have their relationship thrive, whether be in a marriage or in a committed relationship, or even if you're starting one. And we realized that when we were going through our long distance relationship, even after we were married, it wasn't easy, least to say. It took that commitment. It took that communication efforts to let it work. So when we talk about the communication issue, we realize that it could be several ways that it can present itself. You can be right in the US here and your time zones are different.
Right.
And that can set a communication constraint.
True.
To your relationship because you might be up and about going and your spouse or your loved one is still sleeping.
Right.
You miss them. You wish you can hear their voice, but it's like, man, it's still not morning, so you have to wait. So when it comes to communication, that is one of the problems, whether you are in different countries or in the same country, but different time zones.
Correct.
So when I think about communication, that's one of the things that kind of comes to mind. And another thing is schedule. You might want to communicate with your loved one at a particular time, but scheduling is not working as you would like it to be. They might have already, again, started work, they are zoned into their work, and you might have gotten off from work, going home, and so you need to chat.
All right.
And so that opposes a problem or an issue when it comes to getting the two people on the same time, on the same schedule, where we go to work at the same time, we come home at the same time. And even with Nate and I, when we had a long distance relationship, even when we were married, he would have gotten off from work. I am still at work. Or he is at work and I've gotten off from work.
Okay.
So when you ask me about communication, I think those are the two things that can really, really be a challenge when it comes to communication.
I do agree with you. Yes, those two things pose a high risk when it comes to communication. But let me present some sort of resolution, right?
Yes.
Because that is a challenge, and we gotta pose a solution to that.
Yeah.
And I quite remember what we tend to do was we create a schedule.
Yes.
We created a schedule. We were fully aware of each other's calendar. We know what time each other got off, the sleeping patterns, if somebody is working alternative schedule, what time they're sleeping and getting up. So we were fully aware of each other's schedule. And that allowed us to create a routine. Hey, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, let's chat for an hour or two. And amazingly, a lot was accomplished that 2 hours time frame, and consistently that 2 hours time frame became
A habit.
a meeting place. Hey, we're here. So what happened to your meeting? What happened to your training? How was grocery? You were cooking something. How did it turn out?
Yes.
What are you wearing? You sleeping? Let me see your outfit. Oh man, you are looking lovely. See, these patterns eventually allowed us to understand each other. So I believe once you create a consistent routine of communication on a daily basis, that distance becomes a little bit,
Shorter
a little bit shorter
in your head.
It becomes a little bit shorter, and with time, you make other changes, and it closes the gap with time.
Yes.
And
it's very funny that we talked about the schedule, but another thing that I remember we did a lot was using the text app and messaging app,
Yes.
So text messages and like now we would talk about WhatsApp.
I mean, back in the days, we didn't have WhatsApp.
Yeah, those times I think WhatsApp had not.
We had the
emerged.
Yahoo messages.
Yes,
And a few others.
we still had the Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
So,
No, I don't think we had a Facebook Messenger back then.
but anyways, I was saying.
We don't want to give our age out, but
I know, but we're not that much older. So,
Right.
anyways, but I remember that text message was a very big thing for
Yes.
us when we were distant relationship, when we were even married, and that is so powerful because sometimes you could be so busy at work. Sometimes you be asleep and you get up, you look at your phone and your loved one has texted
right?
you.
Or a video chat.
Or there has been a video chat or a voice note, and it makes you just have a great start of your day. Or anticipate to talk to them when they get off. You just couldn't wait, right? And Nate and I consistently, like you would think sometimes we are texting each other at the same time, even though we thought we couldn't be on the phone talking, right?
Right.
So It is very powerful. Communication, very key. And today's world, there's so many ways of staying in contact. Constant communication. There's no way you can give an excuse in today's world. The apps are
Endless.
I can't start by naming them, but
I agree.
there's so much that you can use when it comes to communication. So the next challenge that we saw was being trusting and jealousy, right?
That's a big one.
Those two things, funny enough, you would think they don't work together, but yes, it's either I trust or I'm jealous, right? And I'll quickly dive into this.
No, let me do that. Let me do that. I think I can pick your brain, so I know where you're going. Trust and jealousy in long distance relationship is a key, because once you set your schedule of communication, right? You try your possible best to make sure you reach your significant other, right? Within that schedule. But if something happens and alters the schedule, doubt sets in, and you feel like, hey, somebody reneged on their side of the plan, because we had a schedule.
Somebody's dropping the ball.
We had a schedule to talk, and we can't reach each other. What's going on?
Yes.
So if memory serves me right, one time, Miss Esther here, while we were dating, decided to go to a close family party celebration, whether it was a birthday or it was some sort of party.
I think we were married and I was pregnant with our first.
It was some sort of a
No,
party.
I just wanted to clarify that. I think
it was some sort of a party, and I called Esther several times, and I was like, where is this woman? She usually pick up my phone. Well, I was so overly concerned to the point where I was furious about my mind just took a deep dive into the ocean, thinking about all kinds of filthy things that could be taking place. So,
guys, when he says filthy things, don't pay him.
There goes my pregnant wife. I cannot get hold of her. I live in a whole different state, and she called. It's like, Nate, I was at a party. I am so sorry. My phone was in my purse. Oh, I see that you've called me several times, and I am so sorry. And I'm like, honey, where are you at? I've been calling you. I've been here worried sick. And she was like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm just at the party. I'm like, whose party? We didn't even talk about a party, our previous conversation. So to make the whole story short, due to the misconnect, trust became an issue. Jealousy set in. And guess what? I made a fool out of myself. And I promise not to do that again. But it happens. It does happen. It definitely does happen. And I can't expand on this enough. Create no room for disconnect.
Yes, when it comes to trust and jealousy, we can easily eradicate it when we are in a long distance relationship by staying in constant communication. And I would say, to resolve this, build that trust. restate your love for each other. Let transparency guide you. Just be open about, like Nate is saying, that he doesn't think that we talk about me going to a party, but I thought we talked about it, right? At the moment, it's not about who is right. At the moment, it's about, I'm sorry. I love you. I wouldn't do anything silly. I'm carrying your baby. I mean, I'm your wife. What else can be? What else can I do? But at that point, Nate was living it. Like, he just couldn't understand why. And trust me, this is not like 9 o'clock. This is not like 10 o'clock. This is late, like 1 a.m. And I was still at a party, right?
Right.
And this is when he found out it was a friend that he had just gotten to know, he was a little bit okay. But still, he just couldn't wrap his head around the fact that his pregnant wife was at a party at 1 a.m. And we're talking about 2014, 2013. I couldn't forget this. I'm like, babe, you want to drive down here and see me? I'll miss you too. I need a hug. I wish you were here so I can dance with you. And then he went like, I hope you're not dancing with any other person out there. I was like, okay, don't let us go there. I've had enough of your, of you not, kind of bulging down. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important. It is so much important to not let our trust turn into jealousy.
Right.
And when it does, let's give that room of reassurance, and being transparent, letting our spouses or our loved ones know that, hey, I got you. I'm sorry. You didn't get hold of me, but guess what? This is where I am at. So when we go ahead to look at the third one, we're thinking about loneliness and isolation, and this goes so close to what Nate was feeling at that time when I was at a party. So from 9 p.m. till whatever time he stopped calling, or whatever time I called, this gentleman was feeling lonely. Okay, let's just put it as that.
I mean, that's true.
He was feeling lonely, and he felt isolated and was like, wait, I am here all by myself. My wife is all the way in Maryland. I cannot just see her. It's about 8-9 hours drive. I'm calling her. She's not picking up. I feel lonely and I feel in isolation, right? So, being that he was led to feel like that, I understand how he became frustrated when he was talking to me over the phone, right? So when we're in a long distance relationship, we want to try and overcome that challenge of letting our loved one feeling lonely and isolated. Somebody will say, oh, but the kids are with her. I'm traveled on work. The kids, she's not married to the kids. He's not married to the kids. It's you that he's married to. He's not in a relationship with the children. There is a different relationship with the children.
Right.
But you feel that special spot in their life. Mm-hmm. So when you were not there, you were missing. Mm-hmm. When you were not there, they feel lonely. When you were not there, they feel in an isolation. My tongue is not wrapping around the word well. But we have to make sure that whenever we are away from our significant other, from our loved one, from our wife, our husband, our girlfriend, our boyfriend, in that committed relationship, we are filling that void with our presence,
right,
in their mind, even though we are not physically there.
Right. And one of the biggest issues is when you're not in a long distance relationship and mm-hmm. you are in a that close settings relationship, you get to see each other day to day.
Yes.
And the sidebar, the table chat, hey honey, I got a party here, I might be coming home late. Mm-hmm. You get to have this sidebar conversation.
Yeah.
quite frequently. And, you know, you don't have to worry about that. So, but when you're in a long distance relationship, that sidebar conversation is not there. The routine conversations you guys tend to have is everything.
Yes.
It's everything.
It's needed. It's important.
Everything that goes on in the course of the day
Yes.
or the next day has to be discussed. And, you know, it creates that healthy space for each other to know with confidence, yes, my spouse is at work right now. Share your locations. You know?
Yes.
You know, share your locations.
If you can.
If
And
you
I
can.
think
I believe you can.
In today's world,
I believe you can.
Yeah.
Share your locations.
Yeah.
You know, sign up for some of the app systems out there.
360.
360. Some of the app systems out there.
Yeah.
Share your locations so that you can see the movement. Do continuous video calling.
Yes.
You know, hey, where are you at? Let me see where you are. Let me see how you sit in your cubicle space. You know, let me see how you dress to work. Let me see your colleagues at work. Just bring your spouse, bring your partner into that space, you know, so that they can kind of have some familiarity with your routine.
Yes.
You know, and I believe it clears that space of jealousy.
Yes.
And it clears that space of any confusion that may set in.
Yes.
Go ahead, Esther.
Oh, I'm sorry. Finish your thoughts.
No, that's it for me.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. Go ahead.
So no, I was just gonna say that you were so right. Bringing your spouse and your loved one into the space that you are when you are in a long distance relationship. And I know somebody's out there and saying, you know what, I don't get time for all that. But guess what? You get time to apologize. You get time to want to fix it. You will get time to want to talk about it when the problem starts coming.
Right.
And that's what we are trying to avoid, right? We are encouraging you to avoid that. You don't need to have all that come into play. Be smart, be proactive instead of reactive. You know, like Nate is saying, you can do a video call and say, hey babe, I'm on lunch. I was thinking about you. Oh, what are you eating? Let me see what you're eating. Show him the food or her the food. It doesn't hurt. We're not saying you can do this every day, but we're saying that when you have the chance, do it. You are just letting your spouse be in tune with whatever is going on with you, wherever you are at. And bringing him into that space really fills that void and not bring in any mistrust or, you know, anything of that sort, you know. And if you have time, ways of preventing that loneliness and isolation, visit. If you can visit. I remember when we were married, those few months, Nate would drive to my workplace. I would be in the office and he's sitting in the parking lot. He knows what time I get off. And I could see in the window, like, is that my husband? Oh my goodness. He surprised me. Or he would be at work and I would drive to his state, go in, clean, cook. He gets off work, comes home and is like, this is not the home I left. Something is smelling different here. Are you here? You know? And if you remember, I wouldn't park my car where he would even see it. I parked somewhere else so that he doesn't even have an idea until he enters the house. Those are some of the few things that we can do and change that energy, change that isolation energy, change that loneliness, right? They felt they were gonna spend the weekend alone, but boom, you were there. You changed the scenery, you changed the environment. Now they're looking forward to have some me time with you, have some bonding time with you. It's okay. You're gonna go back into your routine, working away from each other, but you bridge the gap a little bit. And it's not easy, but it's something that we can do to bridge the gap and eradicate that time of loneliness and isolation.
I'm trying to cast my mind back to those days, and it was such a beautiful moment, you know. And we did it for each other, you know. I could recall going to the grocery store.
I was just gonna say
going to the grocery store and buying grocery, bringing it to the apartment space, and it's the surprise on Esther's face. It's just priceless. So that you can do things spontaneous like that, and that will enhance the loneliness. You know, I think it's very helpful. It's very helpful
and healthy. And you know, this brings another challenge of the lack of physical intimacy. And physical intimacy is not only talking about sex, right? It's just the touching part, right? You know,
having somebody
in the space to cuddle with,
right?
Having that somebody in your space to have your shoulder on, and
even enjoying dinner.
Enjoying dinner. Sit at the same table and have dinner. Movie nights, be in the couch and just have some movie time. Pillow fights, you know. Even if I don't have pillow, my hands are there, kind of, tap you here and there, and he taps you here and there. It's all healthy, right? Those in a long distance relationship, you miss it. And we realize that because we experienced it, but how do you bridge that gap?
Pick me.
Pick me.
So I recall during that time of lack of intimacy.
Physical.
Yes. During that moment, we did few things.
Video.
The first thing that came to mind is cooking.
Yes.
We tend to go to the store. You decide to cook a meal for yourself, or even we go to the restaurant and buy something similar, come home and enjoy it. Either some Chinese food or whatever. We just bought something similar. We come home, we set up the table, we turn on our video chat, and we just enjoy a meal. So we were always trying to close the gap. Be intentional. Be intentional in closing that gap, that long distance. Let it be a long distance by phrase. But in you and your spouse, you and your partner know that it's not a long distance, right? Because you were constantly doing things to close the gap. You were watching the same movie together. You were listening to the same music together. So it's just, I remember we tend to, you on the other hand, play the music so loud, and then I will be listening to it and I'll be like, Esther, I can hear your voice. What did you say again? The music is too loud. But we made it work. We made it work. We made it work.
And when we talk about being creative, ladies and gentlemen, do not underestimate being creative. When you have a phone, the power of a phone, the power of a tablet, you cannot underestimate it. So to our couples out there, when it comes to intimacy, yes, you can set some intimacy on your video. Like Nate is saying, it's evening time, you're talking, I'm gonna take a shower, you're going to take a shower, you come back to your room, What are you wearing to go to bed tonight?
Right.
You can show your lingerie, ladies. That's your husband. You think somebody else is watching it without your husband? That's their problem if that's what they want to do, right?
True.
But anything to set that memory in your husband's mind, anything for him to set that memory in your mind so that you're not looking elsewhere, you're not thinking about somebody else, or you didn't go to that restaurant and you saw that lady and that's what is embedded in your mind. No, the last person you saw before you went to bed was your significant, was your loved one, was your wife, was your boyfriend.
Yes.
You know, so let that power of the phone, let it do it work. Let it do it work. It's a long time your husband saw you. Can he see you on a video call? And so what? If you can show your suit to him whilst you are going to work, he can see what you are wearing to go to sleep.
I agree. It's a safe space,
Yes.
right? It's you and him, and I believe you guys can
Share those moments.
moments. You know,
And it works, guys.
And it works.
It does work.
It sets the mind at ease.
Like, when can I see you again? When did you say the plane ticket was for? You know? When are you driving? You know? So it really does help to bridge the gap and to keep you guys in sync. To keep you guys, hey, it's not out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
We are still in this together and we are committed to let it work. So anything that will work for that to go on, you can. And I know you are thinking about something else. Yes, you can do that too because you are couples, right? It starts with a phone what? Okay, I know I don't want to continue it, but hey, that can be done too if it works for you.
If it works for you.
Anything that
Yes.
works for you is what we're encouraging you to do. We just don't want you to have a dull moment.
Yes.
Because the moment you have a dull moment, you are allowing certain things to set in and that might not go very well. So keeping on going on, let's talk about some financial strains. I know people are saying, hey Esther, sometimes your loved one is not just in another state, it's in another country.
And traveling is
expensive. We know that. You gotta plan for it, guys. Once a year? Twice a year? Out of the country? Maybe you can do that.
I knew some folks that they were literally meeting halfway.
Yes.
So if it's continental travel, you know, they were meeting at a mutual spot that everybody can go.
Yes.
So if they all meet in London, yes, they all meet in London. They all meet in South Africa.
They all meet in South Africa. You want to go to Dubai?
You know,
travel there.
That they were going into these popular, you know, travel locations that really cut down the cost of travel.
Yes.
You know,
to the main country.
You know.
Yes.
You know, it cuts down the cost of travel. So these were some of the things that we're doing.
Where there is a way, there is a will. Right?
There is a will.
Or where there is a will, there is a way.
There is a way.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress enough on this. Let it happen. Let things happen for you. Don't leave things to chances. Don't give excuses because there are 110 excuses out there, 1,010 excuses out there that you can give that should let your long distance relationship suffer.
Right.
And that is not what Nate and I are looking for you. We are trusting that you will sit down, take a moment, think through certain things, talk to your spouse, talk to your loved one. What can we do to let this work? I know this is the fact. We can change the fact. We have to work. I know we have families here and there. What can we do? Do things that can put your mind at peace and also keep you knowing that you still got him.
Right.
And he still got you.
Right.
And that financial strain, you can work on that because there are ways to do things. When we looked at limited shared experience, I think that is so important, so much that if that gets missing in a relationship, it feels like you don't know each other anymore.
Right.
Like you can't even think about when was the last time I saw you undress or dressing up? When was the last time you saw your wife, your loved one putting on a makeup, hair, lipstick? those moments, when was the last time you saw her singing, if she sings at a theater or performs, right? When was the last time you saw him playing?
Right.
Those things are very important and form a very big part of our relationship because that's what makes us what we are. Nate?
I agree. You have to share that experience, in every aspect of your life. Whether you're going to work, you sit in the car, the drive, the commute to work, on your lunchtime, you have to share that experience. The outfits you put on, you gotta share that so that, while you are apart, you are constantly doing things to close that gap so that when you get to meet, that gap is already closed. You are in tune, you are intimate, you are so close with each other.
And if not even 100%, you feel like
you're connected.
You connected. You feel connected. Like it looks like I just saw you.
I know you.
I know you. I still got you. I still know your loopholes. I still
and it takes away that awkwardness,
Yes.
When you meet, you're like, yeah, should I touch you? Should I kiss you? Should I hug you? It takes away that awkwardness.
Yes.
Because you've seen that woman dressed. You've seen you know your person. You know your man. You know your woman. You've seen them.
You still know what makes them thick, right?
Yes.
It's not like you're missing so much. Even though you're missing it, they still keep you updated.
Right.
You still like that shirt. I like that color on you. So when you're traveling to come and see him or her, you buy him his favorite shirt or his favorite color. Oh, I can smell that perfume, but I see that bottle over there. You still use that perfume? Oh my goodness. I can just smell you right now like you're right here because I know that's your favorite perfume. Those things keep us connected. It is important, guys. We can't stress enough on it. And I know you're sitting there and you're like, yes, we know it. Keep doing it if you know it. Don't give up. The time is coming where you're going to be together under the same roof. The time is coming that you're going to see your person and give them that hug that you're like, oh my goodness, I can't let you go. Give them that kiss. Cook their favorite meal for them. Serve them. They'll rub your feet for you and like, oh my goodness, this feels so good. I miss this,
I know.
It's just a great feeling.
My mind was going back on memory lane, and I remember there were countless of pictures, FaceTime pictures, which we took when we were eating and when you look at the image, the picture, you see a small face on the corner of the picture and
screenshots and stuff like that.
And I'm like, these are all the shared memories, we had to endure.
It's important. It's important. So as we bring in our chat to an end, what are we saying? The last thing that we would talk about is the emotional stress. Why go through the emotional stress when you can do all these and put things together? Emotional stress is real. It does happen. As I was saying, the emotional stress, right, is important. Sometimes you might not be even in an area where you have direct family and you don't have that support. You're missing the support from your loved one and you're missing the family support. Surround yourself with good friends. And when I say good friends that would lead you into the right path, not the wrong company, right?
Right.
You need to see yourself in the right company. Do the things that you like. You like to go swim, go swim. You like to go play tennis, go play tennis. You like to go watch movie, go do that. It's hard to do it by yourself, especially when you're used to doing it with your loved one, right? But to keep your mind away from that anxiety, that stress, do the things that you like. You like to go, don't do that now. You like to go shopping? Yeah, go shopping. You like to go have pedicure, manicure? Go do it, right? Do your hair. Guys, go groom yourself. You might be doing it yourself, Go sit down, let somebody pamper you. Do it. Go get a pedicure. Just do things that you enjoy doing to help you close the gap until you come into the same space with your loved one.
Right.
So, Nate, before we close, what can you say? What is your last words to our viewers, to our friends and families who are married and are in relationship, but they are distant because of work or because of anything? They are not in the same home under the same roof with their loved one.
I know the long distance relationship you guys have engaged in. It's hard. It's hard, and it takes discipline, and it takes the communication and commitment.
Yes.
But above all, don't give up on it. Don't give up on it, because as schedule changes, as whatever that has caused the long distance, whatever the issue may be, or the event may be, time, season will change that. And you would get to have your spouse in the same vicinity, as in the same house, under the same roof.
Like that.
Under the same roof, for you to enjoy each other.
Yes.
Don't give up on it. That's your man. That's your woman.
Yes.
Keep on chasing after them.
Yes.
And I believe that a season will come and you guys will be unstoppable force under the same roof.
I'm chasing after you, no matter what. I'll need you more and more. Chase after each other. That's what I'm saying. It's as simple as that.
That's it. Chase after
each other. This song was chasing after Jesus, but
chase after each other.
Chase after each other.
Regardless of long distance relationship.
Yes. And do not give up on your commitment and your communication. Let no doubt set in. Give room to bring each other into your spaces. Trust each other. Do what you say you were doing. When you say you're going to the grocery store and you tell your significant other you'll be back, please don't go sit at the lounge and have a good time. They call and you can't even pick up because that's not where you said you were going. Trust.
Be honest.
Be transparent. Be honest. And if Nate and I were able to go through it and we are under one roof today, I don't know about tomorrow, but hey, if we are good and we pass that test, you surely is going to pass that test. So keep up the good faith. Keep up the good run, right? You're going to make it.
And I do know about tomorrow, Esther. Because when tomorrow comes, you will be under this roof. Okay? Don't be silly with me. Don't know about tomorrow. All right. With that being said...
No, just to correct it. Don't know about tomorrow where work can take us.
It does not matter.
You will still be with me.
And we will still be under the same roof.
I love you.
I love you too. With that being said, thank you for staying tuned.
Yes.
And we wish you a blessed week. And we pray for prosperity on your families and your loved ones and your friends and your enemies.
Yes.
All right. Until we see each other again, stay blessed. Bye-bye.
Take care.